Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this right now. Stop. Big alert. You will greatly regret it if you miss God right now. You have 5 seconds to open this video. Archangel Michael says this is the moment your spirit has been waiting to feel burn like sunrise through fog. The clock is on its last clicks, and the air around you can feel the weight of a choice that will echo for years. You are not late because you are reading this now, and now is where the rescue stands with its hands extended. A voice hath been calling your name in secret hallways where yesterday could not follow. That voice feels like thunder wrapped in velvet, soft enough to lead, strong enough to save. Every delay you fed with fear has grown teeth, but those teeth will turn to dust if you move now. The warning is not punishment, it is mercy in urgent clothing. It is a golden rope dropped down into a well that has waited too long for light. If you touch it, you rise. If you ignore it, you sink into a silence that does not know your real name. Hear this with your whole body, because the words are not simply words, they are keys in the shape of sentences, and they fit doors you have never opened. When the keys turn, the hinges of your life stop screaming, and what once rattled becomes still and truly yours. There is a 5-second window that repeats like a heartbeat when heaven draws near. In those 5 seconds, your fear loses its disguise and your courage remembers its shoes. In those 5 seconds, your yes becomes a bridge over fire. Stand at the edge of this minute and feel the floor of your doubt shake. The past will try to lasso your ankles with familiar sorrow. Cut the rope by stepping forward without apology. I have watched the nights you hid grace under your tongue because you did not want to be strange. I have counted the prayers you tried to whisper but swallowed because the room was not friendly. The tally is complete, and mercy has overpaid the bill. Listen carefully because the instruction is simple and blazing. Close the door to the noise and open the door to the call that is already at your threshold. The handle turns easier than you think, and the door wants you to win. Do not negotiate with the voices that profited from your sleeping. They will dress up as reason, as caution, as cleverness that keeps you small. They will promise you safety but sell you a cage with velvet bars. I have stood beside your bed when your chest was heavy and the clock was cruel. I have stood on your left when the accusation arrived and your name shook like paper in wind. I did not leave, and I am not leaving. You feel the tremor because a new map is being unrolled on your table. The old roads are grayed and crumbling. The new path blows like whetstone after rain. If you place your finger on the route and whisper yes, the map becomes ground. This is not about spectacle or grand applause. This is about alignment so deep that your bones know which way home is without a signpost. It is about the quiet victory that happens before anyone else sees it. You have already been chosen, and that choice is older than your fear. You have already been forgiven, and that forgiveness is stronger than your memory of failure. You have already been equipped, and that equipment is waiting where obedience meets action. The 5 seconds are a doorway, not a countdown to doom. They are the warm breath before the first step, the click before the lamp floods the room. They are the holy pause where you stop feeding the wolves of hesitation. Lift your eyes like a shutter opening to light. Let the room show itself for what it really is, a place where the old shadows cannot afford the rent. Stand up inside yourself and feel how tall truth makes you. I have orders to remove the net thrown over your voice by jealous hands. I have orders to break contracts you never signed but suffered under anyway. I have orders to escort you through a corridor that liars said did not exist. There is a letter sealed with your real crest waiting on your table. The seal will only break when your heart stops pretending to be smaller than it is. When it opens, your instructions arrive clear as water. Do not be frightened by the crack of old chains falling. Noise accompanies freedom, and the sound is supposed to be loud. You are not breaking. You are being broken out. Your feet will feel unfamiliar ground because you have never owned this much peace. The peace will feel heavier than fear at first because you are used to carrying storms. Soon your muscles will understand rest and learn its language. Forgiveness will be your fastest vehicle. You will travel distances in minutes that used to take you months. You will discover that some mountains were only fog standing close. I am placing a shield in your left hand that eats fire. I am placing a trumpet in your right hand that dissolves lies. Your breath through that trumpet will confuse every plan set against your rising. A name you stop saying will reappear with new intentions. What once harmed will have no access because the locks have changed. You will not be dragged back into rooms that cost you your light. Write this in the center of your day like a commandment carved into living wood. You are not late for what belongs to you. You are exactly on time for a miracle that required your scars as its signature. The 5 seconds begin each time you remember your vow. They begin when you catch yourself about to retreat. They begin whenever courage clears its throat inside you. A letter of eviction has been pinned to the door of your fears. The notice is stamped, witnessed, and filed at Heaven's archive. The landlord of dread has lost legal right to your mind. You will meet a kindness that does not flatter. It will tell you the truth without dressing it in sugar. It will take your hand and say, "Walk," and your legs will agree. This is your briefing before the turning. On your left, a path paved with excuses polished by generations. On your right, a narrow road lined with wildflowers and thunder. Take the narrow road because it is your size. A width of it is not a punishment, but a focus. Only what matters can fit through, and you will find that you were carrying too much. You will give back what does not belong to you. You will return burdens to senders who mailed them without signatures. You will keep only the tools that build what you are called to carry. There are knocks you will hear in your spirit before day's end. The first will sound like memory, the second like a dare, the third like home. Answer the third one and let the other two wander off into their own emptiness. Do not explain your obedience to those who sell delay with friendly smiles. It will ask for reasons you do not owe. Your yes does not require their signatures. When you step, the ground will meet you like a promise kept. When you speak, your voice will carry farther than your breath. When you decide, your future will sprint to greet you. I have seen the tapes bundled by your enemy, a patchwork of your worst 5 minutes. I have watched them prepare projections like movies on stained sheets. I have been authorized to cut the cords and blacken the projector's lens. Your reputation will not be rebuilt by arguments. It will be rebuilt by evidence you do not have to manufacture. Fruit speaks, and you will harvest more than you planted. There is a window that opens when you bless those who misuse your name. The wind through that window dries the last damp corners of your grief. The view from that window makes the past small enough to forgive. Choose to be allergic to bitterness. Let your body reject it like poison disguised as dessert. Spit it out and drink water until your tongue remembers sweetness. The alibi of the accuser is collapsing. The scaffolding of slander is rotting at its bolts, truth is heavy, and lies are tired of carrying it. You will not drown in other people's storms today. You will pair your own weather, and it will be clear. Your forecast has changed because your address has changed. Look at your hands right now as if they are altars. See the lines that map all the times you survive. Place them over your chest like doors closing to thieves. I am bringing back the pieces of your boldness that you loaned to fear. Each piece returns with interest dressed as wisdom. You become whole without asking permission. There is an appointed meeting with your future at a table that has waited for your hunger. Your chair has your initials burned into its back. Sit without flinching and eat what love cooked for you. When you cross the threshold, old contracts will try to follow. They will hold up papers and shop claims that sound legal. Walk on, because the court has already thrown the case out. Practice this sentence until it becomes part of your breath. I choose what chooses me in God, let it live in your ribs and stand guard at your mouth. The rescue will look ordinary at first, like a hallway you have walked 100 times. But there will be a light at the end you have never seen. Walk toward it and feel the floor rise to help you. Your dreams are not childish. They are blueprints matured by pressure. The edges are crisp now, the measurements precise. Build with them and stop apologizing for wanting what you were built to hold. A door that says private has been unlocked for you. The word does not mean keep out anymore. It means belong here. Step through and let your shoulders drop. You will know you are in the right place when your breath no longer chases itself. You will know by the way your spine stands like a flag in sunrise. You will know because peace will feel like gravity. I am not negotiating with the darkness that auditioned for the role of your future. I am serving its eviction papers and changing the locks. I am assigning you a guard that does not sleep. Keep your eyes where the light is thickest. Ignore the shadows that perform for attention. They live on borrowed power and you will not pay the rent. The miracle is not loud until it needs to be. It grows like a rune, quiet, hungry, certain. Then it blooms with a sound like chains letting go. There is a book with chapters you feared to read because you thought you were the villain. You will discover you were the witness and the warrior. The villain was hunger with someone else's name. Stop writing apologies for surviving. Start writing instructions for thriving. Publish them with your steps, not your speeches. Your angels have rehearsed this day with patience that would shame oceans. Every interruption has been accounted for. Every detour has been folded back into destiny like dough into bread. No more shrinking to fit inside rooms that echo with envy. No more dressing your greatness in clothes 2 sizes too small. No more letting strangers rent space in your head with counterfeit currency. The music you almost forgot will return in a key you can sing. Your voice will stop breaking on certain notes because the fear behind them has retired. You will carry the melody like a banner that does not tire. There is work that belongs to your hands because your fingerprints are the missing plans. When you touch the task, it will recognize you. When you finish, the world will feel a click you can hear in your bones. Guard your mornings like crown jewels. Do not let gossip or gloom be your first visitor. Invite gratitude and focus and watch how the whole day salutes you. I've seen the tears you tried to hide because you thought strength meant secrecy. Real strength breathes honestly and heals in daylight. Let the light do what it was made to do. Your enemies will try to upgrade their strategies, but they cannot outgrow the truth. They will give a shake to change the tactics and aim fix. The route remains the same, and today you learn to pull roots. You will dream different tonight because your bed will no longer host regret. Your sleep will begin to repair what fear vandalized. You will wake with instructions, not just inspirations. Take this hour and harvest its fruit completely. Do not leave the field with baskets half full. Gather every lesson, every spark, every yes. The 5 seconds will visit you like waves on a faithful shore. Each time choose. Each time step. I am sending messengers who look like ordinary friends carrying extraordinary timing. They will arrive with sentences that open vaults. Listen with the part of you that still believes in perfect timing. Learn to bless in both directions, forward for what is coming, backward for what tried to stop you. Blessing is not permission for abuse. It is a declaration of sovereignty. Your mouth will taste different when it stops chewing old curses. A robe of clarity waits on a chair near your door. Put it on before you answer anyone today. Clarity protects like armor and warms like a hearth. You will receive ideas that arrive like doves landing, soft and definite. Catch them gently and give them room to breathe. They will teach you how to build the next chapter without panic. Your feet will walk into rooms you once watched from the outside with your breath held. The rooms will feel familiar because they were written for you. The only surprise will be how natural courage feels in your body. Stop rehearsing worst-case scenarios like they pay you a salary. Fire the director of fear and close that theater. Open a workshop where solutions report for duty at dawn. You will become allergic to procrastination. Your skin will itch when you try to delay what deserves action. Treat the itch by doing the next faithful thing. This warning is a wedding invitation in disguise. It joins your obedience to heaven's calendar. When you say yes, the union is sealed and your house becomes a lighthouse. Do not bargain with the wind. Set your sails and honor its direction. Do not scold the sunrise for being bright. Open the curtains. Do not apologize for arriving. The door has been waiting to open. Your hands will learn the weight of victory, and it will not be too heavy. Your eyes will adjust to brightness until you cannot tolerate dim rooms. Your heart will stop wasting beats on pretending. I have collected your broken pieces and forged a blade that cuts through confusion. Wield it with kindness, but wield it. Tut away the vines that tried to cozy up like friends. You will be misunderstood by those who miss the old you. Let them miss you without returning to be found. Nostalgia is not a map. It is a museum. The river you feared is shallow where you must cross. Take your steps and feel the bottom rise to meet you, and the other bank, a choir of ordinary moments, will feel holy. This is the last time you will call your purpose fragile. It has uplifted storms with no roof. It has teeth and tenderness, and it knows your name. You will stop renting peace by the hour and start owning it. Ownership comes with responsibilities and rooms with windows. Open them all and let the air change things. You will meet a mentor who speaks in blueprints. Listen with a pencil, not just with hope. Draw while they speak and build while you learn. Honor your boundaries like border crossings with vigilant guards. Stamp visas for joy, wisdom, and courage. Deny entry to shame, confusion, and false urgency. Your laughter will return on schedule and bring cousins. Together they will populate your rooms and crowd out sorrow. The sound will be your new background music. Write letters to the versions of you that got you here. Thank them for surviving, then release them to rest. You will not need their coping skills where you are going. There is a place with your name glowing quietly. It never stopped glowing. You stopped looking. Look again and watch it brighten as you approach. Take only what you need and what needs you, travel lighter than you thought wise. Find out how fast you can move without the furniture of fear strapped to your back. Your generosity will become a weapon against scarcity myths. Each time you give, a lie but lack loses its voice. You will prove abundance with your calendar, not just your wallet. Stop calling yourself behind. Time bends toward obedience and meets you at the corner of now. Your yes rearranges schedules in rooms you will never see. You will make decisions that offend your old chains. Let them be offended while you walk. You owe no explanations to your prison once you have the key. This is not performance. This is alignment. This is not panic. This is precision. This is not pressure. This is propulsion. Let your first act be simple and specific. Throw away the token that ties you to yesterday's pain. Make a call that truth has been begging you to make. Stand at your window and speak your name into the street. Call yourself home from every place you abandoned yourself to be accepted. Open the door when you hear your own footsteps returning. If you feel the slow burn of holy urgency in your chest, that is not anxiety, that is the engine turning over. That is the invitation arriving with its own pen for your signature. Your head will try to negotiate, but your heart has already decided. Trust the part of you that knows the sound of rescue. Trust the hand that has never once let you drown. I'm placing embers in your mouth, words that glow, and warm rooms without setting them on fire. Use them to speak life into tired corners. Use them to remind the air who you are. The night is not your ruler anymore. It is a canvas with the lights you carry. Paint it without worrying about permission. The 5 seconds are here again. They always return like waves. This is your wave, your breath, your step. Go now and let the world rearrange around your obedience. Carry this proclamation like a seal impressed upon your day. You are done with delay that dresses as carefulness. You are married to movement and faithful to purpose. Do not rehearse the fall. Rehearse the flight. Stretch the wings you hid in closets labeled later. Feel how the hinges of your courage glide without rust. Your house will learn your new voice. Your walls will stop echoing yesterday's arguments. Your floorboards will memorize the rhythm of your forward steps. There is a silence coming that is not empty. It is full of instruction. Learn to hear the quiet syllables that order your feet. Let them arrange your tasks like constellations. This message is not a threat. It is a trumpet. It announces what is leaving and what is arriving. It declares the change already underway inside your chest. I will walk one step ahead and one step behind. I will guard your flanks until confidence grows its own armor. I will not allow what hunted you yesterday to taste you today. You will find out that boldness is gentle when it rests in truth. It does not shout to convince itself. It steps forward and the room shifts. Take water. Take breath. Take courage. Lay down accusation. Lay down apology. Lay down delay, exchange them like currency at a border crossing you are finally walking through. Write today's date where you can see it. Let it be the anniversary of when you stopped letting fear be your manager. Celebrate it quietly and fiercely with choices that keep your promise. I leave this decree in your hands like a torch that does not burn skin. Hold it high enough to light your own path and low enough to guide others. Walk with it until dawn recognizes you as kin. Your future is parked outside and the engine is running. The driver knows your name and does not honk. Open the door and get in before you decide to wait for later that never had a key. I am finished arguing with your excuses because they have retired. I am finished answering accusations because evidence has taken the stand. I am finished knocking softly because the door is open. Remember the count. 5 seconds that repeat until you choose. Remember the vow. You will not treat your calling as a hobby. Remember the promise. You step and heaven moves. Stand now. Breathe now. Decide now. The ground is steady under the truth. The way is lit and will stay lit as long as you walk. This is your summons. Your shield. Your strategy. This is your release form from prisons with invisible bars. This is your rival announcement at the place that has waited with lights on. Walk into it with your whole name. Walk into it without the luggage of other people's doubt. Walk into it and close the door gently behind you. Your yes is a bell and the hills will answer. Your yes is a seed and the field is already soft. Your yes is a door and you are the only key. I seal this with a calm that settles even the loudest rooms. I seal this with a strength that lifts even the heaviest choices. I seal this with a joy that refuses to be borrowed. It is yours outright. Go now and do the smallest faithful thing. Then the next. Then the next. String them like lanterns across this night until it looks like noon. Keep going until your life catches up with what has already been written. Stand tall, beloved witness of your own rescue. Step forward, rightful owner of this day. Speak life, architect of tomorrow's peace. I am here and I am not leaving. I am loud when you need thunder and quiet when you need a still wind. I am the escort of your yes and the guard of your becoming. Now is the hour and this is the call. The siren of grace has replaced the siren of fear. Answer with your feet and not just your feelings. This is the last sentence before the new chapter opens and breathes. Take it like a key and use it immediately. The door is the size of your decision and your decision is brave. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $1.20. Archangel Michael says the echo of your yes is still traveling and it keeps finding doors that forgot they were meant to open. The corridor ahead stretches like a ribbon cut from sunrise and every step prints your name into ground that once denied you. The proof that you are ready is the way peace keeps choosing you even when noise performs in the hallway. A ledger of old debts has been pulled from a drawer you stopped opening and the sums now tilt toward your favor. Lines once heavy with loss now carry credits of wisdom, clarity, and timing. The balance clears as you walk and the ink dries into testimony. Your breath begins to behave like a compass that refuses to spin in panic. It points toward clean air, honest rooms, and assignments that fit your hands. You begin to prefer truth over theater, direction over distraction, and seed over spectacle. In the distance, a tower made of should-haves and could-haves starts to lean. Its foundation was nostalgia mixed with fear and the angle now betrays its weakness. You do not need to push. You only need to keep moving and gravity will complete the work. A friend you thought casual carries a sentence that unlocks a month's worth of strategy. They speak it without fanfare and the sentence lands like a key on your table. You recognize it because your heart has been rehearsing the shape of this lock. You begin to bless your calendar with boundaries that glow like lanterns in evening streets. The glow guards your mornings from small fires pretending to be urgent. It holds your afternoons steady and tucks your nights into rest strong enough to rebuild you. Doors that once ate your courage now return your strength with interest. You notice that certain rooms shrink when you arrive with clarity like shadows embarrassed by sunlight. You take your place without apology and the air becomes honest. Your hands touch work that multiplies, not because of frantic effort but because of right alignment. The tools fit, the timing hums, the results gather like birds that recognize a safe branch. You stop chasing and start receiving what already recognizes you. New allies arrive not loud at all. They carry green flags instead of red flags and their presence calms your decision-making. Your counsel feels like stepping onto solid planks after walking mud. An old habit tries to negotiate a return by wearing a new coat. The coat looks fashionable but the seams smell like yesterday. You smile, step aside, and watch it pass by without renting space again. A message sits on your device with a tone you once feared. You read it now with steady eyes. The trigger fails to fire because the powder of panic is wet and useless. You discover the floorboards of your integrity are thicker than you remembered. Where cracks squeaked, planks now hull. Your steps stop apologizing for their own weight. There is a list of names you promised to forgive and never quite completed. Today you finish the list like clearing a field of old bones that can cut your feet. You walk barefoot afterward and feel the grass say welcome. The city of your mind begins urban renewal. Crumbling districts of comparison lose funding and new parts of creativity open with clean benches and fountains. You choose to picnic with ideas that feed you rather than feed on you. The habit of secret self-sabotage loses its hiding place. You used to call it protection, but it wore your hope thin. You retire it with honors it did not earn and replace it with courage disciplined enough to be kind. Letters you never sent are folded into gratitude and placed in a drawer called closure. Not everything needs an audience to be complete. The act of finishing becomes its own applause. You learned the art of the deliberate pause, a stillness that edits out panic before it can audition. The pause is not delay, it is precision. Your decisions carry the quiet confidence of a craftsman's last stroke. An invitation arrives that sparkles like bait and smells like a hook. You honor your instincts and decline with grace. The future nods because you just protected a harvest you have not seen yet. You write today's promise on a small card and carry it in your pocket. The card becomes warm against your leg, a constant reminder that obedience is a map disguised as a sentence. Each time your fingers find the card, your posture upgrades. The phone rings with old chaos, but you have learned a new ringtone for peace. You let it go to voicemail and send prayer instead of panic. The message that returns is shorter, clearer, and far less demanding. You re-enter rooms you left in flight and reclaim what you abandoned under duress. You take back your laughter, your curiosity, your willingness to try. The room feels you relieve it to be used for joy. Archangel Michael says the blueprint for this chapter includes 3 pillars: clarity, consistency, and clean motives. Clarity cuts through fog without the echoes. Consistency turns small faithfulness into architecture that survives storms. Clean motives keep your victories from rotting on the shelf. You practice setting tables where everyone brings truth as their dish. You stop accepting performances as meals. Your appetite upgrades and flattery tastes like cardboard in comparison. A message arrives from the part of you that never stopped believing. It reads like a field note from a scout who found water. The note is short and accurate: walk 10 more steps, then dig. You dig, and the ground offers a well as if it always wanted to. Water rises with the sound of relief. You cut both hands and drink until memory stops tasting like dust. Your calendar grows teeth against vague obligations. The word maybe loses its throne, yes and no take their rightful places, and your energy stops bleeding into polite traps. A small door within a large door opens, a pass-through made just for you. Crowds miss it because it is not dramatic. You slip through and find the hallway that leads directly to your assignment. A voice that used to shout inside your ribs now whispers once, then yields. It was never authority. It was habit. Habits retire when starved of attention and fed nothing but boundaries. You hold meetings with your future and keep minutes like a diligent scribe. The minutes read like prophecy that loves calendars. Deadlines become lifelines, and panic finds no chair. A memory that always stunned begins to lose its teeth. You revisited it with light and found the thorn had been grief asking to be acknowledged. You honored it, and it softened into wisdom. Promises you made to yourself reappear like letters forwarded from old addresses. You open them and keep the one still true. You bless the rest and let them go without guilt. Your sleep deepens like a well cleaned of debris. In the morning, instructions float on a surface, simple and actionable. You stop confusing drama with depth. A person who loved your confusion loses their grip when you stop performing it. They cannot hold what you refuse to hand over. Their hands open, and the wind of change empties them. You adopt a sentence that behaves like armor. I choose alignment over approval. It fits every room without becoming a weapon. It protects your peace without bruising anyone else's. You upgrade your inner vocabulary, maybe becomes experiment. Tailor becomes feedback. Waiting becomes preparation, your posture tells the truth before your mouth does. Shoulders remember their design and stop curving around fear. You occupy your height with gratitude, not guilt. Old altars built to worry are dismantled carefully and repurposed as workbenches. Where you once sacrificed sleep and joy, you now build plans. The tools on the bench are humble and effective. You stop auditioning for rooms that do not value your assignment. You build your own table and keep a seat open for wisdom. The table fills slowly with the right voices, and the conversations feed your next steps. The ghost of last year's exhaustion wanders your threshold and finds the door locked. You left no spare key under the mat this time. The ghost fades when ignored and replaced with rest that sets its own guards. You begin to track results instead of reactions. Results respect patience and prashant. Reactions gossip. Results testify. A small stack of money learns its mission and stops behaving like a hostage. You give it instruction with integrity and a timetable. It multiplies quietly and returns with friends. You design rituals that anchor your days to purpose. 10 minutes of gratitude. 10 of planning. 10 of execution. Small stones that hold the shoreline of your hours. The people who are truly yours recognize the new pace and adjust without sulking. They cheer your boundaries because they love your breath. They become partners instead of project managers. You discover the difference between urgent and important. Urgent shouts and interrupts. Important waits and transforms. You choose important often enough that urgent stops dictating. The rumor mill spins, but your fields grow too fast to care. You cannot harvest and eavesdrop at the same time. You choose harvest and find the rumor mill bored without your attention. You forgive mistakes from the version of you who only had partial maps. The compassion lands like rain on cracked ground. The ground softens and grows. Archangel Michael says the alarms that brought you here have done their job, but their sound will not rule your days. Urgency gets replaced by rhythm. The same voice that saved you from drowning now teaches you to swim. You add margin to plans the way a wise builder ants space for expansion. Margin protects peace when the day tries to spill. Your schedule begins to breathe like a chest that knows how to rest between strides. A verse you will not quote turns into a practice you will live. The practice looks like choosing the narrow yes over the wide maybe. It looks like walking past applause to meet assignment. You learn the temperature of manipulation and refuse rooms that run too hot with it. Your presence cools the air or exits without drama. Control loses power where freedom stands upright. The apology you kept drafting for taking up space finally dissolves. You replace it with gratitude for the gift of being here. Gratitude composes better music than apology ever did. You recognize jealousy by the way it stares at your portion while neglecting its own. You refuse to be its mirror. You bless your portion and mind it like a garden. A simple notebook becomes your evidence locker. You capture promises fulfilled, doors opened, strength measured. On heavy days you read and the weight lifts. You become less interested in plausible and more impossible. Plausible is a polite ceiling, possible is a skylight you open with faithfulness. You keep a ladder near the sky. Your discernment stops calling itself paranoia and starts calling itself stewardship. Stewardship loves clarity and hates confusion. It says no without flinching and yes without shame. The 5-second doorway remains, but your legs learn to move within one breath. The speed is not panic. It is precision earned by practice. Choices stop limping and start sprinting straight. You start seeing intersections as invitations rather than interruptions. Red lights become pauses with purpose. Green lights become assignments with momentum. Conversations that once grained you now end earlier with kindness intact. You do not owe endless explanations to anyone's confusion about your calling. You owe fidelity to truth and care to your own breath. You develop a palate for simple excellence. You choose craft and enjoy the long appetite. A letter arrives with the seal you saw in your spirit. The instructions inside are shorter than expected and kinder than feared. They confirm what obedience already knew. You taste how relief differs from avoidance. Avoidance numbs. Relief heals. Your choices lean toward healing until it becomes your default. You raise your standards without raising your voice. The room notices and the temperature shifts. Those who belong adjust. Those who do not excuse themselves. You stop waiting for closure from authors who never finish their books. You close the covers yourself and shelve them without malice. Your library becomes readable again. Your feet memorize the path to your quiet place. The time there grows roots that feed the rest of your day. You return often enough that peace starts greeting you by name. A project you feared for its complexity becomes simple when sliced into faithful pieces. You move one piece each day and the mountain becomes gravel you can walk. Progress stops depending on adrenaline. You hear laughter in your house that does not require performance. It sounds like health, not distraction. It sounds like home recognizing its owner. You let mentors be guides, not gods. Their counsel becomes ingredient, not recipe. Your own palate learns to season decisions with what fits your assignment. Archangel Michael says your victory is measured in how well you love, while staying aligned. Love without alignment becomes self-erasure. Alignment without love becomes brittle pride. Together, they build a road wide enough for mercy and narrow enough for purpose. A message arrives from someone who once wounded you and now seeks repair. You honor the attempt with boundaries and truth. Reconciliation becomes a garden you cultivate only if both bring water. A mirror tells the truth without cruelty. It reflects a face trained by weather and chosen joys. You honor it with rest, water, and food that remembers your body as a one for work, one for service, one for joy. You assign dates that are realistic and alive. You walk toward them steadily and find the doors unlocked on arrival. A child's laughter interrupts your planning and becomes your teacher. It demonstrates presence without anxiety and curiosity without shame. You take notes and adjust your pace. The voice of scarcity tries a new tactic, calling itself responsibility. You answer with numbers, plans, and faithfulness. Responsibility relaxes when told the truth, and scarcity leaves when starved. You stop auditioning for love that cannot read your worth. You invest in love that demonstrates comprehension. Your heart stops translating itself to be believed. You retire competition where it never belonged. Collaboration feeds the work that matters. Your wins multiply when shared with aligned hands. A storm forms on a horizon you do not control, and your house stands. You prepared windows, roof, foundation. Confidence replaces dread because you built before the clouds gathered. You honor griefs that still knock and give them a short chair and a glass of water. They sit, speak, and leave without unpacking. Your house remains a home, not a museum of sorrow. You learn that silence can be hospitality when offered without passive aggression. It makes space for truth to seat itself. It protects wisdom from being crowded by noise. Your phone learns new hours and obeys them. Notifications bow to your schedule. Algorithms lose the right to startle your nervous system at will. You let art stand in your rooms like a witness that beauty is a duty, not a luxury. The colors remind you that survival deserves celebration. The celebration strengthens the next faithful choice. You count your victories in breaths and beds made, emails sent with integrity, tasks finished without resentment. The small counts become a cathedral of evidence. The echo inside that cathedral quiets shame. You keep a drawer labeled courage for later. When you cannot move a heavy thing today, you write it on a card and place it there. On stronger days you open the drawer and lift one card into action. You stop diagnosing everyone and treat your assignment like a patient with a promising prognosis. You give it attention, nourishment, and clear timelines. Health returns to your work and begins to glow. You adorn your thresholds with declarations that thieves cannot cross. Peace posed in. Clarity present. Permission withdrawn from confusion. Archangel Michael says the siren has become a song, and the song is steady. What began as an alarm is now a rhythm. What began as rescue is now rule. Your pace no longer chases validation. It escorts purpose. The difference shows in your breath, your posture, and your sleep. When you look back, you see 5-second windows like stepping stones across a river. You crossed without drama because you trusted timing and moved your feet. The opposite bank is not a stage. It is a field to tend. You remain teachable without becoming malleable. Feedback is welcome. Manipulation is not. Your yes stays expensive. Your no stays clean. The final check of your armor finds gratitude polished. Boundaries snug. Vision clear. The day opens like a gate that knows your key. You walk through, and the ground honors your arrival. And still the call continues, not as panic, but as purpose. Not as threat, but as promise, not as countdown, but as cadence. Walk this cadence until your results begin speaking fluent testimony. Walk it until your presence quiets rooms that used to riot. Walk it until your life becomes an answer that needed no performance to be believed. Carry on, beloved, with the same bold calm that first broke the night. Carry on with a gentleness that proves strength. Carry on until the door you once feared becomes the one you hold open for others. Archangel Michael says the cadence of your courage is steadying into a drum that knows your name. The beat is firm without being loud, true without needing to shout. Walk to it and watch hesitation miss every step you refuse to surrender. You will begin to recognize the subtle posthume of delay even when it wears the colors of duty. It will ask for one more day, one more check, one more round of approval. You will answer with one clean choice and move the whole story forward. Your mornings will feel like letters arriving with fresh ink. The greetings will be simple, the instructions honest, the signature familiar. You will read, breathe, and begin without the preface of fear. On corridors where your feet once trembled, the floor now meets you like a promise kept. It does not bargain. It does not wobble. It receives you with gladness. Stability is finally your native language. There is a chair in a quiet room that has waited through years of noise. Sit in it and let your spine remember the dignity of alignment. From that height, your plans stop begging to be taken seriously. You will not chase what is already assigned to you. You will build a home that your promises can recognize. When they arrive, they will hang their coats and stay. A hush stronger than thunder moves with you when you refuse to peg. In that hush, opportunities tell the truth because they cannot survive by glitter alone. What is real remains, and what is costumed slips away. You will mark today's victories in simple pencil on a page you can tear and carry. Tencel refuses the drama of permanence but honors the reality of progress. A day's end, the page will crinkle like a small flag of completion. Archangel Michael says the door called next is not locked. It is simply unfamiliar to hands trained by old knobs. Touch it with the new grip you earned in the night. It will swing with the gratitude of a hinge finally oiled. You will stop arguing with the weather in other people's souls. You will carry your own climate, warm enough for growth and clear enough for sight. Those who can breeze here will bloom. Those who cannot will leave without your resentment. A name you once whispered like a wound will soften into a story about surviving. The story will not excuse harm, but it will refuse to host it. Your narrative will be curated by truth, not curated by pain. You will notice how often fear asks you to prove yourself. Let your results finish the conversation without your mouth. Evidence is a fluent language in every room. Your appetite will change. Junk attention will taste stale. You will crave work that trains your hands and relationships that train your heart. Dish hunger is holy and sustainable. The calendar you carry will learn the rhythm of breath. Between efforts, inhale studied, exhale action. Inhale rest, exhale excellence. A habit of over-explaining will wear out its welcome and leave quietly. You will replace explanations with presence, posture, and clean decisions. The rooms will hear you without a lecture. Your sleep will stop bargaining with the future and simply give you back what the day cost. Recovery will feel like sunlight repairing the frost. You will wake with instruction, not just inspiration. A threehold called cloyer will appear without spectacle. Step over it without building a stage. Your peace does not need witnesses to be true. Archangel Michael says the 5-second window has taught you more than 1,000 seminars. It trained your legs to move while the mind still arranges its sentences. Keep honoring the window. It will keep honoring your life. You will learn to refuse counterfeit urgency by naming it gently. This is not mine. This is not now. This is not necessary. What used to require a pep talk now requires a calendar entry. You have matured past noise into appointment. Your follow-through is the loudest thing in the room. You will love your assignment without worshipping it. Work will stay a servant and never become your master. That order will protect your joy when outcomes fluctuate. A person who thrived on chaos will attempt a last performance. They will juggle grief, guilt, and glitter to pull you back. Watch kindly, bow once, and exit to the right. Your hands will become fluent in stewardship. They will count, plan, and build without clutching. They will release with trust and gather with wisdom. You will decorate your boundaries with kindness so they are unmistakably yours. People will learn to knock, not trespass. You will answer when you choose and never in fear. The corridor of comparison will receive less of your footsteps. Each time you try to enter, your keys will not fit. The lock changed when you honored your portion. You will return to certain places only as a visitor with gifts, not as a resident in recovery. Your welcome will be genuine. Your exit on time. Nostalgia will not negotiate your schedule. A sentence will become your lighthouse on difficult mornings. I do not need permission to be faithful. Repeat it until your bones hear it. Then move with it quiet authority. Archangel Michael says the architecture of your days is changing from scaffolding to structure. The beams are set, the roof is sound, the rooms are assigned. Live in them fully and stop sleeping in the hallway of almost. You will be tempted to apologize for stability in a culture addicted to crisis. Resist the romance of collapse. Choose the poetry of consistency. Your toolkit will include gentleness that can lift heavy truths without dropping them. When you speak, rooms will rearrange without injuries. This is power behaving like service. An honest inventory will liberate resources you forgot you owned. Time trapped in indecision returns. Focus borrowed by worry comes home. Where you once added urgency to be taken seriously, you will now add clarity. Clarity travels faster and lands softer. He also lasts longer and breaks less. You will not measure progress by applause, but by alignment with your assignment. Some days will be quiet and magnificent. Some will be loud and ordinary. Both will count. A habit of finishing will start to define you. You will be known for closing loops, returning calls, and delivering what you promised. Reliability will be your quiet crown. Your body will tell the truth sooner than your mouth when you enter wrong rooms. Notice the tightness, the shallow breath, the shrinking spine. Choose to leave before your soul pays the bill. Your celebration will mature from fireworks to fireplaces. The warmth will last. The light will invite. The gathering will nourish. You will prefer this, and you will not miss the smoke. You will lay down the superstition that suffering is the only proof of purpose. Faithfulness is louder than pain when measured by fruit. You will grow orchards where you used to grow excuses. Archangel Michael says the old alarms can rest. You know the route now, keep the trumpet for battle, but let the bell of rhythm ring the hours. Sacred work loves schedules. A letter labeled deferred joy will arrive from a former season. Open it and distribute its contents today in small, generous portions. Laugh in present tense. You will reject the tiered seating that put your worth in the balcony. Your seat is on the floor where decisions breathe. From there, your yes and no change the sound of the room. When critique arrives, you will taste for accuracy, not acidity. Keep what is true. Spit what is toxic. Bless what is merely preference, then return to the work with steady hands. You will find a pocket of time you used to lose between tasks. It hid behind scrolling and low-grade anxiety. Guard it now and invest it in skill, silence, or strategy. A new patience will grow, one that is not passive, but precise. It waits while barbering. It rests while ready. It watches without worry. This patience is a blade sheath until needed. Your calendar will begin to look like an altar of priorities, not a landfill of obligations. Each entry will answer why before it consumes when. The day will stop swallowing you, and you will start feeding it. Archangel Michael says your voice has learned the distance between plea and proclamation. Today, choose proclamation. Let the words carry weight without dragging chains. A surprise reconciliation will knock with humility, not theater. Meet it on the porch, not the stage. If it is real, it will not mind the absence of an audience. Your savings will gain an assignment, and your giving will gain aim. Money obeys meaning when told where to go. You will write orders with wisdom, not adrenaline. You will be mentored by silence and apprenticed by attention. Both are ancient teachers of clarity. Sit under them often and graduate repeatedly. A project you feared is smaller than the shadow it cast. Turn on the lamp, measure it honestly, and cut it into obedient pieces. Completion will greet you sooner than dread predicted. You will not be baited by false emergencies. They will flash. They will buzz. They will perform. You will honor your pace and keep your peace. Your friendships will take root in shared values instead of shared venting. The conversations will build, not bleed. The fruit will be obvious without marketing. You will carry a sentence on a small card in your pocket when the room turns foggy. Walk by peace, not by pressure. Read it once, breathe twice, step thrice. Archangel Michael says your next favor is attached to your next follow-through. Bring your whole attention like an offering. Excellence, not perfection, is the standard that honors your calling. You will clean the small corners where neglect loves to hide, the drawer of unmailed thank you notes, the folder of almost finished files, the shelf of half-read wisdom. Each completion returns a tile to the mosaic of your peace. A pity brightened. A gentle courage will guide you to admit when you don't know and to learn without shame. Curiosity returns like a friend from a long trip. You set a place for it at your table. You will build an evening ritual that tells your nervous system the day can go now. Light a candle. Close the tabs. Bless the work. Release the rest. Sleep will accept the invitation with a smile. Your discernment will become multilingual, able to read tone, timing, and texture. It will notice what is missing as clearly as what is present. It will choose accordingly without cruelty. This season will ask you to narrate less and demonstrate more. Fewer announcements, more evidence. Less spectacle, more substance. Archangel Michael says you are being trusted with reach, not just with range. Reach touches what matters. Range only spans distance. Choose reach and let depth measure your success. You will experience the soft strength of being unhurried in a hurried world. Deadlines will respect you because you prepared. People will trust you because you deliver. A door you assumed was above your grade will open because you grew into it. Imposter feelings will try to sneak in under your heel. Lift your foot. Let them pass out again. Enter as yourself. You will not knit your identity to outcomes. Outcomes tell weather. Identity tells climate. You are a climate system of peace, courage, and steadiness. The last trap of this chapter is the invitation to explain your peace to those who profit from your panic. Decline with kindness. Let your schedule be your statement. Archangel Michael says the windows are open now. Let the fresh air remake the house. Dust leaves in columns of light, and rooms reveal their true color. Move the furniture of your habits to fit the life you are actually living. You will stock your bag with 3 tools at all times. A clear no, a focused yes, and a small pause. With them, you will cross crowded days without losing yourself. With them, you will end nights without regret. A blessing will land on what you build because you finally build from truth. Truth attracts help that hustle cannot buy. The help will arrive quiet, competent, and right on time. You will retire the last costume designed to make other people comfortable while you suffocated. A wardrobe of authenticity will fit without pinching. Wear it daily and wash it in gratitude. What once required courage will soon require only habit. Habits become railings on stairs you now climb. Heights stop scaring you when the railings are strong. Archangel Michael says you have returned to the center where the orders are simple and the strength is sufficient. Keep the center, and the circumference will take care of itself. Lose the center, and the edges fray. A final instruction for today: let your yes be a door that closes behind you. This does not lock you in. It keeps you from walking backward. Forward becomes natural when retreat is inconvenient. Stand now with shoulders that remember sunlight. Speak with a mouth that refuses to sell fear. Step with feet that trust the ground they have already trained. Carry this page into your next hour like a small, steady flame. Like one tasked with it, then another, then another. Let the day end smelling faintly of victory and clean effort. When tomorrow greets you, it will bring new work and familiar peace. Meet both with the same calm focus. The pairing is how harvests multiply. Archangel Michael says, I will walk the border of your day like a quiet guard. I will signal when noise becomes danger and when delay becomes disobedience. I will stand with you until steadiness becomes your second nature. Now breathe, choose, and move. The window opens every time your heart remembers who sent you. Walk through again and again until the path itself starts saying your name, if you wish to express your support further.